If you want to grow an environment of learning, plant the seeds, nurture the seeds, and then be patient. In this video, I am going to talk about how the law of the harvest applies to homeschooling and parenting. Hi, I'm Kenna, and I help parents inspire an environment of learning in their home. I'm glad you're here. The law of the harvest is simply the principle that you reap what you sow. And reaping is the act of gathering the harvest, right? And sowing is the act of sowing seeds, planting the seeds. So basically, that saying, you reap what you sow, means you get what you give. You get what you put in. You get what you plant. What you plant will produce. And so we need to be careful about what seeds we are planting in our homes and in our parenting style and with our children. To harvest tomatoes today, I needed to plant the seeds months ago. And the same principle applies to relationships. It is a process that requires giving before receiving. The law of the harvest is related to karma a little bit, right? Karma says that what you put into the world will come back to you. Whether it's goodness will come back to you or not, then it's going to come back and get you, right? So it's kind of a similar law where what you're investing into your life will come back. The fruits will grow, and sometimes it does require patience to wait to get there. So when you are doing the things to inspire an environment of learning in your home or to foster the relationships with your kids that you want, recognize that it might take time for the seeds to grow and flourish. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that the things you're doing won't produce, but sometimes it does take time. I would like to share a personal quick story with you. When I was 14 or 15 years old, I had a friendship that went a little bit sour. And there was somebody who was being unkind to me. This is how I perceived it, right? She might have a different side of the story that was being unkind to me, and it was kind of escalating. And I'm embarrassed to say, was reacting, and I was doing unkind things too. More particularly complaining about it to other people, and then of course it was getting back to her. So this was going on, and it was kind of escalating, and I was in the middle of it, kind of caught up in the events. I remember one night I went to a concert. I was with some friends, and during the middle of one of the songs, this message just came to me. I think it was gifted. I think it came from heaven. And the message was that I needed to be kind. No matter what was happening on the other end, I needed to choose to be kind. And so I had a change of heart. I remember going home crying, really thinking about it, making a plan, knowing that I wanted to be better, knowing this wasn't who my best self was, right? And knowing that I wanted to go and be kind. So I went to school on Monday, and I said some kind things right to this person. And behind their back, I not only didn't say anything, but I actually deferred the conversation and said, I don't want to be a part of this conversation anymore. And really felt brave, right? I was standing up for goodness, and I felt like I was doing a good thing. Well, the result on that day was that something really rude happened back to me. It just came back to bite me. And I remember going home and thinking, how does that happen? I was kind. I did everything right, and she was so unkind to me, and it's just hurt my feelings so much, and I did the right thing, so why didn't I see the results? And the message very clearly, again, I think gifted from heaven, was the very clear thought, just keep doing it. Months of unkindness cannot be erased in one day. It was a wake-up call. I was humbled. And I decided that I would do it no matter what came back at me. And I will be happy to say that things did neutralize. The point is that when I first started to make a change, I expected to see the changes right away. And I expected to see the fruits the day I planted the seeds. But the law of the harvest does not work that way. And it's the same in your home environment. It's the same in your family culture. It's the same with any relationship with any person. It's a principle that can be applied in so many different areas of life. So if you're trying to cultivate a home environment of learning and you don't see the fruits yet, keep trying, keep giving, and be patient. Keep nurturing the environment, keep doing your part, and be patient. The seeds will grow and you will see fruit. So understanding this principle can help you plan for the future. So here's some reflection questions that I would like you to think about. What do you want 5 years from now? Really take some time to think about your home, your family, your relationships, whatever. Think about what you want your life to be like in 5 years, and then plant the seeds now. You want a family who still likes each other in 5 years? Plant the seeds of family togetherness now. Plan some things at their level that can grow into that. Do you want a child who will come to you when they have a problem? Then be somebody today that accepts their problems in a way that they would want to come to you and have the support they need to trust you, that you will be there to help them. And I do want to recognize that there are elements in the law of the harvest that we are not in control of. For example, if I planted my tomatoes in the spring, I planted the seeds, I nurtured them, and then right before they were going to get ripe, a big frost came through and killed my tomato plants. That would be out of my control and they would never ripen. Although I would say that if you were watching the weather and you knew things were happening, then you could probably cover your tomato plants with a tarp or with a bucket and it would be more likely that they would survive. So even then, maybe there's some things in our control. But this goes back to something I've talked about earlier, that when you do the things that you know you're supposed to do and you're planting those seeds and you're nurturing and you're doing your best, then there are some things that you need to let go of the results on, because not everything is in your control. Remember, plan for the future and take those moments to live completely in the present, planting those seeds today that will bear the fruit that you want tomorrow. I invite you to watch my video about being present to see some ideas of what that might look like and why it's important and what the fruits might be of taking those moments to be present with your kids. I will link that video in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Here's to you for implementing things in your life today that you want to see the fruits for, and for being patient in the process. You've got this.